Welcome, everybody. We are in session number 1 of our class. It is here, it says introduction, and we are on the online home page. Yeah, online home page. That is the page which we gave you in our FAQ, so you can do the homework. And if we look at, let's say, previous class page. So that is how it looks like. When we go to session 1, session 2, session 3 here, let me scroll down. Yeah, we go to that specific session and it has a link to the recording. So I am recording what we are doing and the link is going to be here. And also we are doing notes. I have a notepad file. And in that notepad file, I will take certain notes. The notes also will be given to you, but until you get to the session 4 of our class, until you actually sign the contract and pay the tuition and so on. So we will use that online homepage. Where if you look at session 1, okay, session 1, that is the recording of session 1 for February 2nd class. That is the recording for May 18th class, session 1, and yours will be here next, to the right of May 18th. I will probably remove February 2 and I will keep previous class in your class. So that is where recordings are going to be with the notes which we are taking in the class. I will be taking the notes in that class. So let me go to the notes, so because I use them myself. Okay, here is the link to your webinar. I will remove it, but we have to learn a couple of things here. So wportnov.net is the online class website. We are in the online program, and that is our website. And I'm telling you that because we have also campus, and I am on campus right now in my office here. Campus is a physical location with classes which used to be local, in physical classrooms, but because of the pandemic, so we primarily teach online, remotely. So we do have students here on campus as well, just a little bit, just a few. So portnov.com is a kind of brother organization. So we are brothers and sisters, Portnov.net and Portnov.com. For example, if you take classes on Portnov.com, they come with very substantial discount. And at Portnov.com, there are many classes, many programs. We have just one: software quality assurance, manual testing, 100 hours, and that is what we teach. If we go to portnov.net website, if you didn't go there, guys, it might make sense to go and look at the website. In particular, it explains what we are teaching here, software QA training. Yeah, here is the class. It says 100 hours, 3 sessions per week, $1,000. Your class is the last one where we charge $1,000 because we added more hours twice within a year and a half. So prior to pandemic, it was 40 hours. Then when pandemic began, we added automation, another 20 hours. And in May, we added another 40 hours with more on projects, more on job search, more on back-end testing, SQL, Unix, and those things. And then it explains what's included, yeah, what's included into that program. Okay, we'll go back to my file. That is online class website. Portnov.com, you might also go there, just familiarize yourself with what's offered. They have many automation courses. They have many other technical courses. They have boot camps, and we might talk about the boot camp later on. But basically, you might think about QA boot camp as an internship, remote internship for 5-6 weeks in a relatively small group. So you have a full-time instructor who does the project with you. So we are mimicking the real life environment, and it comes to you at $500 if you want to, because the catalog price is $1,350. So you get it with a very substantial discount. If you want to, it's not a must part of what we are doing, but if you want more confidence, more projects, more drilling for interviews, if we look at that portnow.com website, and you look at the internships here, you might look at, for example, it might be daytime, it might be evening time. Let's go to, well, evening, does matter. Let it be evening time. You know what? Daytime, I think. Let me compare. Evening, daytime. Let's see. Daytime. Different teachers are creating what they do there. The projects are the same. The only difference is the schedule and how different teachers describe the project. Yeah, that is what you're gonna do there, which is a very nice kind of program. I'm just giving you an idea of what that school is about. So we have two wings, wing portnow.net and wing portnow.com. Then for the first 3 sessions, guys, you will use the online home page. It is given to you here, and that is where we are, or at least that is where we are, the online home page. So we just practice with 3-4 sessions, and then actually 3, but number 4 is given to you to prepare to session 4, so you can do the homework. That is the only reason. So we will work with that page. So you do not need any access, any passwords, nothing. So to reach your class page, and that is your class page here, September 6, 21, blah, blah, blah. So that is your class page. So to get here, you would need to pay the tuition, and then let me process your case. When you register, so first you pay the tuition, then you register. It says here, registration is here. That is where you register. And that is how you can pay. So you can pay from this page and that page. We will get there. So after you pay the tuition, I go to your account which you created when you registered, and all I do, I just change from subscriber to customer. And after I do that, you will get access to all the resources we have. Previous classes, your current class, the future classes. I mean, you get access to the universe of different things. I just wanted to show you why it's important to register when you become a student. We have a forum, and forum is a place where for a while you will post your bug reports. Yeah, we will test a couple of things. And that is where you go, and you go to the right place, and I will show you. And you post your bug reports. And when you register on that forum, it will ask you for random question answer. Guys, answer to the random question is here. Okay? Unless you provide that string, so it will not let you in. Okay? And give me a couple of hours to approve your registration on the forum, to authorize your account. It takes some time. Yeah. What else? Payments. We have a page. Some students are telling me, Michael, why I cannot find the payment page? Why there is no link? We do that intentionally because we do not want to deal with money going back and forth. Yeah. So we want you to pay the money only when you are decided. Probably it was here. Okay, it was here already. So you come here and before I go, guys, you have 3 sessions to decide if you want to go. The only reason I'm telling about that stuff right now is because some people are saying, I want to pay now. I decided I want to go, and said, okay, we have PayPal as our agent for processing credit cards, which means when you come here, you do not push that button. You just go to PayPal checkout. Don't do that stuff. Just go to PayPal checkout. And when you go there, you have 2 options. Option number 1, you go with PayPal, and option number 2, you go with credit card. Look at that. So if you want to go with PayPal, so you log in right here. Yeah, you type your login, PayPal login, your PayPal password, you log into your PayPal, and so if you want to pay with credit card, you just push that button. That's it. You push that button and it comes to normal interface. So guys, if you have any issues with payments, which is happening sometimes, yeah, it might happen, you contact me directly. So I am in your Skype. Yeah, you connected to me. So just say, Michael, I have such and such issue. We'll take care of it easily. Okay, there is no issue we cannot resolve just like that. So we talked about registration, payments. Now, guys, let's talk about chats. We have in your class, okay, I have to go to Skype. Okay, in your class, we have 2 chats. One chat is September 6th trial, that one. September 6th trial. And in that chat, we communicate only when we are in session. So means right now, if you want to say something to me or to people in your class, whatever, that is the time to use that chat. Another chat is called informal chat. Trial, but informal. September 6th, informal chat. So we have tons of people here, and so you communicate here in between sessions. In between sessions. What's important here? Both chats. Let me go to the file. Oh God. It is not a social media place, okay? So it is not the place where you schmooze or do whatever you want to do. It is a property of the school, okay? Both chats are property of the school. They are created to help people in their study. So you discuss only things which are related to the study. You do not put pictures there or whatever, images or kind of emotional stuff. It is not for that. It's just for communication. You do not want to terrify a couple of 100 people with your being in a good mood stuff. So no spam, no links to third-party resources without my approval. Okay? Nobody came here to study from you. Whatever third-party resource you think might be useful should be approved by me. Okay, that is very simple rule. Okay, I think we are pretty much done with generic stuff. Let's see if anybody is trying to get into the class. Not really. You cannot see information informal chat in my list. That is something you will tell me about after we finish. Okay, I will not deal with that while we are in a class, while we are on record and so on. Guys, there are going to be lots of issues which we have to resolve when you just start, when you go to the forum, when you register on the website, when you make payments. There are going to be lots of things. I mean, we'll take care of it. Don't worry. I mean, there are going to be no unresolved issues. I can promise you. One more thing here. In our school, as you probably learned from our FAQ, students have the privilege to repeat classes on unlimited basis. In your class, there are folks who probably took the class originally 3-4 years ago, and whatever happened, yeah, and then now they are coming back, and so they are with you. So, and you might repeat that class 2 times, 3 times, 23 times, I don't know, as many times as you want. Now, these people go to extra 2022 chat. So that chat is for people who are repeating the class. So they already did the class. Okay. Now, we send invitations to that chat. So anytime I start the session, I send one invitation to the September trial, and then there's going to be another chat after the trial. And another invitation goes to the extra group. Then what happens? We will have September 6th final group. Final is for people who pay the tuition and they get to session number 4. Okay, final. And we also have final informal. Where is that? Where is that one? Let me see. Yeah, September 6th, informal final. All of you who are in the class go to informal final after you pay the tuition, but people who are in extra class, people who are repeating the class, also might join you in that chat if they want to. So people who are repeating the class are getting their invitations, and they are communicating when the session we are in session. They write their comments in that extra 2022, and I look at all your comments, so you're not going to be forgotten here. And they communicate in between sessions with the rest of the class. I mean, with the main group. So the only limitation the repeating people have, they do not write into the main chat when we are in session. They write in 2002. So I just want you to understand how 2 groups are arranged. So we do not want the repeating people to kind of interfere with the main class when we are in session. And honestly, I expect people who are repeating the class to help answering questions to those who are taking it first time. That is my expectation. So guys, at that moment, I would say any questions, because we have to switch to the software testing. And the language of the school, the chat, the language of the class, the language of the school is English, okay? You can talk to me in any language, but when you go to the public place, okay, you do not speak Russian, Chinese, or I don't know, Hindi. Okay? You're supposed to communicate in English here. Just so you understand how we should pay by Zelle. Guys, let me tell you again. If you have a question how to pay, okay, by Zelle, you contact me directly and I will give you the link. I just do not want that information to be that much open, that much public, okay? I want to limit that to people who are clearly expressing their interest in making the payment. How we should do? Okay, good. We accept all types of payments. You can send us a check. You can pay. You can transfer money, from bank account to bank account. We receive money from all over the world, because if you think about how many countries are represented in that group, guys. I think it's more than 10 different countries. So, and we manage the payments. It's not a big deal. It might take some, some work, but it's doable. Okay, so let's go to the feature presentation. Yeah. Okay, guys. And I understand that you, not all of you, okay, had a chance to do the homework. Would you imagine today and yesterday we enrolled 50 people in this chat. So I understand you didn't do much. September, no, I want to go to online home. Okay, here is the online home, and we do not really need that September 6th your class anymore. Okay. So let me tell you how you were supposed to do the homework, because we will go over your homework right now. So you come to your online home page. You scroll down to session 1. Before session 1, you come here, and first you do the homework assignment. You watch that session, that video with webinar with PowerPoint. Then you go to that page with interview and questions and answers. It gives you like 12, 13 very common interview questions and answers. Guys, it is all real stuff. It is not made up. It's all real stuff. We have a list of 60 most frequently asked interview questions, and what you have here is 12 or 13 out of 60 most frequently asked interview questions. So after you do that, you go to the survey here. Some of you did. I will see how many. And you just answer those questions. And some of them are kind of, you can choose. Yeah. And some of them are open-ended. You can type whatever you want to type. But the rule of the game is you cannot type, you cannot copy-paste. So all you do here, you put information into those fields out of your mind, okay? So you have to study. And I have one more thing to show you here before we proceed. So there are 4 levels of learning. So we are looking at educational theory. So the first one is, first level is recognition. So means you say, yeah, Michael talked about that, but can you do it? Can you do something with it? Not really. So a student cannot solve the problem without outside help. So that is recognition level. So no job. Is it clear? Recognition level means no job. Yeah, Michael told something, I don't remember. Reproduction level. Reproduction level means you can do it. You can solve that known problem himself. So we did it, and now you do it, and what we did in the class, and you can do it yourself. So you can write a test case, you can write a bug report. That one means you have a job, you are hired. There are 2 more levels. So one level is subjective creativity. So you can solve the problem which you didn't solve before. So it's kind of new to you. That is expert level. It will come later on, guys. Few more years, and you will get to the expert level, many of you. And objective creativity is what scientists are for. So they are obtaining knowledge which didn't exist before them. So what we are interested in that class is to move you to the reproduction level, because you tend to stay at recognition level. It's not enough. You have to do it yourself, okay? And in between recognition and reproduction, there is just practice and hard work, okay? It's all about doing the right things, not ignoring them, not sabotaging them, not postponing them, just doing the right things. Means, specifically when we apply it to your homework, It means before you take the survey, yeah, okay, you make sure you can answer those questions. You can answer the questions here. And that is the list of questions, by the way. All those questions which are answered, they are here. So, and we will go over those questions. Okay. So, and what you also do, you watch James Back video. James Back is a kind of legendary guy. And that video, it takes about an hour and a half, more than an hour and a half to watch, but it changes. It's a life-changing thing, guys. It is something which is really must. Let me ask you, anybody who watched James Back video, guys? Okay. Did it impress you? Yeah. It's a real good stuff. It explains what software testing is about. I mean, if you enter the world of software testing, that is something, you know, the right thing to do. Okay. I just want you to also realize whatever we suggest you to do is pretty much must do. Okay. It's not like nice to do. It's must do because we cut all the corners for you guys. There is no room for cutting corners. You just follow our guidelines. And that is the easiest, the best, the most reliable way to get to the results. Okay. So after you finish all that stuff, and it might easily take, God knows, hour, 5 hours easily. Okay. Then you go to that May 18th class, the previous class, which just finished a few days ago. And you watch at how we discuss the homework in the class. So what happens, you come to the class prepared by doing the homework. And then in the class, we discuss your confusions, we clarify certain issues, we make sure you are moving, you know, to the higher level of understanding, of penetration into the subject matter. Okay. Okay, so guys, and again, I understand that many of you didn't have a chance to do the homework. That is why we will take the quizzes which other people completed. Yeah? And we have that, yeah, I have that instrument, it's called Survey Monkey. Let me refresh. It says 400 people. 400 people includes you and the previous class. It's kind of, it's summarized, which is fine. So I just wanted to have a larger number. What's going to happen today, guys? If we think about homework, the next session, session 2, yeah, session 2, asks you to repeat those questions and so take another survey. And I understand many of you did the survey already. We will clean up. Let me do it this way. I look at the next session quiz. Okay. Let me just clear the responses so you know. Okay, they are not there anymore. So guys, for the next session, session 2, which is going to be tomorrow, we will have only your class questions. Only your class questions. And I will clear that one too. Okay. So we will focus on how you answer that stuff. So let's go. Let's go. And while talking about that stuff, we will kind of look at what is the QA, what is the profession itself, what are the key things in that profession, what you have to pay attention to, and so on. Meanwhile, guys, you are welcome to write your questions, because once in 5-10 minutes I will I go there and make sure we are synchronized. What makes software QA career attractive to you? And I believe in my notes I have something for that stuff too. Yeah. What is software testing? Oh, okay. It starts with software testing. Okay. What makes software QA career attractive to you? Maybe we will add to my notes. Just a second. Yeah, copy. So, what is the key to answering the question why you want to be in that profession? Why you like that profession? They will ask. They want to know that you have kind of attachment, that you have commitment, that it is not just another job, you know? So that is a very common question, especially when you just start your career. So no, or let's say never, okay, never bring, guys, never bring what? Give me that word. Never bring what to the picture? You tell me. Money, good. Never bring money, okay, money to your answer. I'm not saying that money is not important, guys. Everybody knows that money is important. But again, I have an example of a doctor. You say, doctor, you wanted to become a doctor just to make more money? And doctor would be outraged. Doctor says, what are you talking about? I like to help people. Same story, guys. Money is important, but money is not your dominating motivation in choosing the profession, in enjoying the profession, and so on. So never bring money to that stuff. Let's take a look at what we've got here as possible answers. Oh no, wait a second. Not here. Yeah, here. What do we have here? It allows me to make more money, almost 30%. Guys, next time you don't mention money. QA jobs are safer than my jobs in current profession. Okay, 16%. You know, guys, it's not true. You know, there are no safe jobs. Whatever you do, okay, wherever you work, there is always someone who is thinking how to kick you out of work. Pretty much what we do in technology, in information technology, we are making sure people lose their jobs. So we are coming with innovations, tools, things which help to improve the productivity. So we don't need that many people anymore. So yeah, no safe jobs, yes. One more thing here. Maybe I will say that just for your kind of attention. Okay, I will put it here. Job safety. Job safety, guys, comes from who? From where? From what? Does it come from your employer? Does it come from your profession? Does it come from what, guys? In today's world, job safety comes from what? Experience, well, hard work, competence, yourself. Absolutely, it comes from ourselves. Yes, comes from your let's call it the skill, your skill level, your professional level, to be more exact. So the better you are in what you are doing, the more you are safe in terms of having a job. So not from your employer, not from the employer. Lots of people think that if they work for Oracle or IBM or God knows whatever, Tesla, so they are safe. Their jobs are safe. Well, if you are good, you are safe. If you are not good, you are not safe, no matter where you work. Okay. Keep going. No. Enjoy working in IT environment. That is a very good one, guys. You just enjoy working in high-tech environment. Yeah, sure. Another one is also nice if you say it right. So it employs my natural talent and passion for perfection. So you can say I really have passion for software quality and for quality overall. But they have to trust you, guys. If you don't think about yourself that way, don't say it. Just say you like to work in high-tech environment. So, but it is also a very good answer. I mean, it's me. I mean, it's just who I am. Okay, very good. Okay. Define negative testing. Define negative testing. We have to first say a couple of words, just a couple of words, because we're going to talk a lot about this stuff. What is testing? What is testing? So testing is making sure that software application, which is being developed, it is being in development, that software application is developed according to requirements, because somehow there are requirements in place, and the requirements are given to developers, and developers are developing their code along the requirements, and your job is to make sure that whatever happens actually is consistent with the requirements. And that process has its own name. It's called verification. So software testing is not limited to verification, but we will talk about it later on. So far, kind of the very basic idea. What is testing? Making sure that software product is up to the requirements. Up to the requirement. Okay, keep going. So what is negative testing? And when we talk about negative testing, we have to think about negative and positive. We cannot separate negative and positive because they are opposite to each other. And if you think about positive testing means let's make sure that if user does it right, the way we expect user to act, so then the software works nicely. Negative testing is opposite. Negative testing says, hey, what if user doesn't do it right? And it happens, guys. Think about yourself. I mean, myself, everybody. We all are doing something not exactly right. And so what? How that software will perform if user doesn't do what we expect that user to do? And that is the place where we have to probably look at the link which I gave you here, the school forum. We go to the school forum and we have some place here. We might go one level up. So when you go to the forum, I cleaned it up. There is really nothing extra. You go to software testing interview questions here, interview questions, and here you have we will have that question about negative testing. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Why we have that forum with answers here if we do have that page with all the answers? Because when you go to an interview, and our job is to beat the competition, to get a job. Correct answer is not enough, guys. Correct answer is not good enough. We compete with other people. And other people might also be good. So we have to beat the competition in our answers. That is why we have more elaborated answers on that page, on that subform. So it says, what is negative testing? So first we have the definition. That is what we have on that page with all the other definitions. So showing that software handles properly situations in which user acts not as user is supposed to act. Now, it makes no sense if positive testing fails. For example, I want to log in into the application. So I provide correct combination, valid combination of login and password, and then boom, it doesn't let me in. It rejects me instead of accepting me. Now, the question is, that is positive testing. We just did positive testing. We provided valid login, valid password, and it failed. So positive testing failed. Now, the question is, should I test that? Guys, you will answer. Listen carefully. Should I test that same login and password interface for valid login and invalid password? Broken password. Should I do that? Should I do valid login and invalid password? I have to. I don't have to. I don't have to. No, not really. No. Okay, guys. Okay. I definitely have to do it at some point. At some point. But if positive testing fails, there is no reason to do negative. It already failed. So negative testing makes sense only if positive testing succeeds. So I can log in with valid login and valid password, and I'm saying, aha, let's see what if my password is not valid. And then I expect some error message or whatever requirements are saying for that situation. Okay, so negative testing is to be done after positive. In lack of time situation, and guys, lack of time situation is always, you never have enough time, honestly. In lack of time situation, the company, the team will minimize or completely skip negative testing. So negative testing is an orphan of software testing. They focus, everybody focuses on positive testing, why? Because if positive testing fails, that is a big deal. Because that is how people use software. So first of all, we have to make sure if user does it right, the software works. Next priority is what if user doesn't do it right, we still want it to be nice, but you know, that is second priority. And negative testing results in more bugs than positive. Why? Because everybody does positive and everybody neglects negative. So it's like, I don't know if you ever picked up mushrooms in the forest. If you get to the place where nobody picked mushrooms and you're the first one, you've got lots of mushrooms. Yeah? So that is negative testing. More bugs. There is one more thing here, by the way, which I would say it makes no sense. Negative testing. You know what? Let me see if I can edit that thing. Yeah, probably I can edit. Yeah. And I would say negative testing, the volume of negative testing is much larger than positive. Let me give you an example. Okay. Do we have anything about negative testing here in my answers? Attractive. What is software testing? Software. Okay. So the question was, what is negative testing? Yeah? Negative testing, and we might copy from here. Yeah. We might copy from here. Copy. Move it here. Definition. Okay, makes no sense. Negative is in lack of time situation, results in more bugs. The volume is much larger than positive. Let's take a look at, let's say, zip code field. Yeah, zip code field example. So what are the requirements? We have, let's say, one requirement is it is 5 characters. Yeah. Another requirement is it's all digits. We are talking about United States. Characters, all digits, and one more requirement is existing. Because because sometimes you have a combination of 5 digits, but you know what? It's not a valid zip code. So now requirement. Now we have requirements for, let's say, test cases. My test cases here are very much kind of minimalistic. Let's call it that way. The idea of test case. So what do we have? So number one, we test for positive testing. We always start with positive testing, guys. And we are, because if it fails, we stop testing that stuff and move to another one. So what is the test case? Let's say test case is 5 digits. 5 digits existing. Yeah, 5 digits existing. What should I type in? Let's say 94040. That is local. Let's say wherever I am. 85, 94085, that is Sunnyvale, California. What do I expect? I expect it is accepted. Whatever the situation is, so I type the zip code, push submit or whatever, and it is accepted, so nobody complains. Okay, and that one is positive. Okay, that one is positive. Now, test case number 2, I'm saying, what if it is not 5 digits? Yeah, maybe it's more. So let's say 6 digits. 6 digits. I won't say existing. Yeah, I mean it's just 6 digits. 940851. Okay. So what do I expect? Rejected. Some error message, whichever way it will happen. So that one is negative. As a user, you are not supposed to come up with 6 digits. Okay, number 3. 4 digits. 4 digits. 9408. Okay. Rejected. Maybe there's going to be another message, so we are not detailing to that level, yeah. But that is also negative, so we are not supposed to come up with 4. We have to do 5. Number 4. So now we look at. Let's do something with non-existent. Let's do 0, 0. Let's say non-existent. Non-existent. Let's do 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 zeros. All digits, but it's rejected, and there's going to be another message probably saying it's not a valid zip code, blah blah blah, and it is negative because you're not supposed to come up with garbage, yeah, as a user. Then, guys, we have digits stuff. So let's say non-digit letter. So 94085. Let's replace something. Let's replace 0 with uppercase O. I intentionally do something which is kind of looks similar. Yeah, looks similar. So it should be rejected. Yeah. Okay, probably saying, coming with a message which says, please provide digits only or something like that. In a real test case, guys, in the real test case, we will not say accepted or rejected. We will say exactly how it was rejected. So far, I told you it's very minimalistic what I'm doing right now, and that is negative. Okay, number 6, non-digit, special character, let's say 9 for, instead of 0, I will do @ 8 5. Okay, so, and again, it is supposed to be rejected. Okay, negative. Okay, I will stop right here. I can come with more test cases, guys. I really can do more. I just don't want to go further. And those 2 which I can add are also negative. So what are we seeing here? Out of 6 test cases, only 1 is positive. Out of 6 test cases, only 1 is positive. So that is an illustration to the idea of that volume of negative testing is much larger than positive normally. So far, guys. So far. Are you clear? Do you understand that example which I did? Yeah, it is very basic. Yeah, good. Someone is saying here that 5 and 6 could be combined. 5 and 6 cannot be combined. Because if I do it like, for example, let me do it letter and special character. Okay, B4 at 85. So it is rejected. Obviously, it is rejected. It is going to be rejected. But the question is, it was rejected because of B here, letter, or because of @ which is special character. I have to make sure that special characters are rejected and letters are rejected. All of those are supposed to be rejected. So that is why I need 1 test case for 1 possible failure. Each possible failure requires its own test case. So the number of test cases is a separate subject we will discuss at some point. But so far, they cannot be combined. Cannot be combined. I mean, obviously. Because we possibly might have 2 bug reports. 1 bug report, letters are accepted, and 2nd bug report, special characters are accepted. We might have 2 bug reports, so then we need 2 test cases. Okay. Is that clear, guys? I mean, it's not a big deal, but both non-numeric and so 1 should be enough. No, I told you. I mean, I just explained you. I just explained. Okay, think about it. Okay. Okay, it's like okay, let's say you have a crocodile, okay, and you have a gun in left hand and you have a gun in right hand, and each gun is supposed to kill the crocodile. So you use 1 gun and make sure the crocodile is dead. You use another gun to another crocodile and make sure it's dead. Terrible examples though. But now you are saying, hey, you can take 1 crocodile and use 2 guns. No. You have to make sure 1 gun is enough. Okay. Guys, to be a good tester, what you really need as a personal kind of quality is common sense. Common sense. If you have common sense, guys, you could be a brilliant tester. As one gentleman used to say, common sense is not very common in today's world, but it's a joke, guys. People have common sense. You do have common sense. I mean, if you have no common sense, how would you come to my class? Think about it. I mean, it's obvious. It's proven that you do have common sense. Okay, guys, it was a joke. I mean, just making sure you understand that it was a joke. So as software testers, we need to make sure that there is only one correct way to enter a zip code, and the others must be negative, right? We will discuss at some point how test cases are created. But the point here is if you have one example, one member of a bigger class, let's say we talk about digits, and let's say digit 7 is a member of the class digits. So if you take a random number out of the class and the application says wrong, it's wrong, so then you have an idea, or you might have an idea that probably the entire class is wrong. It will not accept any member of that class. So that is how that concept works. So whatever you consider to be a class. And when it comes to characters, so characters are a big term, but inside of characters, we have three classes. We have class letters, we have class digits, and we have class special characters. There are three classes under characters. Just remember, guys, you will run into that numerous times in the future. So just making sure you remember that. Step by step. It is not coming, at once. So what do we have about negative testing? So it is, yeah, that is a definition. Testing we do before uploading software on production servers. That is garbage. Negative testing done by developers to test reliability. Total garbage. Done on behalf of end users by subject matter experts. Another garbage. I mean, some of the answers I offer you here make sense, but in different situations. So I'm kind of sophisticated in creating those quizzes because I know where you guys fail. So I'm trying to make sure you fail in the classroom. I'm giving you provocative answers which provoke you, to come up with the garbage because I want you to fail here in the classroom, not when you go to the interview. Okay, so my quizzes are built to fail you. No doubt about it, guys. Be careful. Each and every question, is not as simple as it might look like. So you did nicely that negative testing. You did it very nicely. So 94%, very good. What is software testing? Okay, and we've got answers here. Many answers. Look at that. So remember, guys, when I look at your answers, I just want one thing. It doesn't come out of copy-paste kind of situation. Process to find and fix errors. Fixing errors has nothing to do with software testing. Software testing is about finding things, not fixing them in a product according to the requirements. It is a nice definition. Nice, I would say for the first time, very nice. I don't know where you got one. If it comes out of your mind, it's brilliant. If you did copy it from somewhere, well, it has some weaknesses. Software testing is basically never say that word. I mean, it's not a bad word. It's not 4-letter word, but it's a garbage word. Software testing is finding and fixing. No. Why fixing? Where do you take that fixing? Occurring in the software that's specified by some criteria. Such criteria are validation of system being created as it should be. Guys, there is just one place from where you are supposed to find the answers, and that place is here. Here. It is given to you to prepare. And it says, what is software testing? And it says, the purpose of testing is verification, validation, and error detection. Verification is making sure that software is up to requirements. Validation is making sure that requirements are benefiting the client, the user. So when we are in QA, on one hand, we make sure that requirements are implemented. That is what we do. But meanwhile, we look at requirements. We might criticize the requirements. We might say, you know what, those requirements, they are obsolete, you know, they are not good in some way. So software testing is verification, first of all, validation, some of it, and then error detection. Error detection means you just go and look for bugs. To me, error detection is just a sub-product of verification. So if you make sure that something is up to requirements, and then you run into something not being up to requirements, so that is the error. So if you verify requirements, implementation of requirements, you inevitably run into the errors. So, okay. But that definition is a classic stuff, so I decided to keep it the way it is done by classics. And so that is, guys, what you are supposed to come with when you do the quizzes. You are not supposed to go God knows where and find God knows what and bring it here. Okay, so guys, you will have an opportunity to do it again. So because the second session number 2, you will do the homework and you will now go over those questions and make sure you really learn them, to the level of being able to do it at the level 2. So without outside help, without looking anywhere and so on. Okay, keep going. What is software quality? Wait a second. What do we have here in our file? I just want to make sure we have nice notes. Making sure the software application meets requirements. So requirements are properly implemented and begins with having the code to test. Yeah. So you should have code to test. Sometimes they ask you where software testing begins, where quality assurance begins. So quality assurance begins with requirements, with the idea of software. Software testing needs the code to be tested. Yeah, needs the code to be tested. Yeah, I will remove that stuff from here. Okay, and the software application meets requirements. And you remember, it's not just that. So it's just validation, verification, validation. That is kind of short answer. And the more elaborated answer is there. What is software development? No, I'm sorry. We go to the next one. Oh, software quality. What is software quality? Let's take it from here. Software quality is lifecycle. Okay. What is software quality? I believe we have something on the forum about quality, yes? Testing. Oh, what is software quality? We have it here. We actually have software testing as well. So from consumer perspective, it is about customer satisfaction, yeah? Which is subjective matter. From QA perspective, it's about being up to requirements. Being 100% up to requirements doesn't make product popular or selling well. People do not buy because you think it's higher quality. People just like it or don't like it, pretty much regardless of the quality. Inside, it should be acceptable, should be good enough though. Inside the company, software company, so when you go to an interview, there are roles, there are people with certain titles who see quality from consumer perspective. upper management, sales people, public relations people, marketing people, support people. They don't care about your requirements. They care about people who are paying money and they like that software. Okay, let me take it from here, copy and bring it to your notepad file. Software quality. Let's put it here. It doesn't pick up bullets. Okay. Okay, good. What do you say? Satisfaction of customers. Software quality. Quality. It depends who you are. To customers, it is customer satisfaction. To you, it is being up to requirements. I mean, and that one says here, software quality is a measure of how close is software being similar to what it intended to work like. The measure of how close is software to the requirements. Yeah. Okay. So there are two visions. So vision of a consumer and vision of a QA person, and you are supposed to come up with both. You remember we discussed today that when you go to an interview, you have to beat the competition. When you come with two perspectives, you beat that competition totally. Okay, I said two perspectives. So consumer perspective and us in QA and development. So inside the company, we want things to be up to requirements. So, but meanwhile, we want people to be happy too. I mean, to customers, it's about customer satisfaction. Good. What is software quality assurance? Okay. Let me see. Do we have that? No, we don't have. Okay, let's take it from here. What is software quality assurance? Software quality. So what is software quality assurance? I believe it must be here on that page, which I gave you. Yeah, what is quality assurance? Measurement, no, quality assurance. The process of monitoring and improving all activities associated with software development, from requirements gathering, design, and reviews to coding, testing, and implementation. Let me put it there. No. So that is the definition, and it kind of takes, okay, from, okay. Okay, so here is the definition. So we look at whatever issues are related to the development from requirements stage. So requirements is where everything begins to us. Okay, and so we look at requirements. We are trying to find problems in requirements actually, as software quality assurance people. See, in software testing, we need the code to test. In quality assurance, we begin much earlier. Some people are saying that software testing is a part of quality assurance. Some people disagree and they are saying testing is testing, quality assurance is quality assurance. Doesn't matter how they define it. Okay, the thing is, quality assurance begins with requirements. Testing begins with the code. Okay, that is what we have to understand at that time. So the scope of software quality assurance is much broader. We look at all the aspects, and the scope of testing is very narrow, just the code, the source code itself. What is software development lifecycle? That is a big time concept. I mean, we have a very good definition for you. Okay, we have black box testing, white testing first. Okay, let's start with black box and white box. Okay, we will not skip. We are doing a nice file with nodes, black box and white box. And I believe we have the answer here. Okay, black, white, and gray. There is gray box testing as well. So black box testing, let me, okay, I will take 2. Okay, copy. We are not looking at gray box testing for the purpose of that specific question, because it didn't ask about gray box testing. We will do gray box testing in our class, black and gray. Black box testing is done without access to the source code. We do not look for bugs in the source code written by developers. We look at the problems from the user perspective. Yeah, user perspective. White box testing is done with access to the code. So you have to understand the code. C++, Java, Python, whatever. Bugs are reported at the source code level, not behavioral. Yeah? In black box testing, bugs are reported at behavioral level. So how software behaves from user perspective. Okay, that is black and white. So white box testing is done, you know what, let me write one thing. So there is a confusion because people say white box testing is done by developers. They know how to code. White box testing oh no, I'm sorry, is not who does it. White box testing is how it is done. No, okay. Okay, white box testing is how is about how it is done, not about who does it. Developers do it. Developers do white box testing. White box testers are doing white box testing. White box testers. Black box testers. For example, let me show you. Let me go to the web page. So here is the web page. Can you see the web page? I can go and say view page source. See here, page source, and it gives me the HTML and JavaScript of the page. So in case as a black box tester, I see some issue here, and I'm asking myself, what happened? What's wrong? So then I go to the page source, and I find the problem. If I do have to understand a little bit of HTML and a little bit of JavaScript or whatever is used there, but guys, I'm not a developer. I do not create that application, but I can see the problem at the source code level. See what I mean? So white box testing is finding problems at the source code level. Okay, but yeah, done access to the code, and we do have access to the web page. Yeah. Code. Is that part clear? We do not need any code for black box testing. Nobody needs any code for black box testing. But black box testing, okay, let me write it here. Black box testing is done by testers, developers. Developers also are involved in black box testing. Let's say as a developer, I develop my code, I run it, and pretend to be a user. So developer pretends to be a user as a part of his work. Otherwise, how developer knows if the software is working? So when developer is trying it from user perspective, developer is doing black box testing. When developer is fixing the bug, he is using as a developer. See what I mean? It is not who does it. I'm trying to kind of bring that idea to you. So ETC, maybe other people might. So it is not who, yeah, it is how testing is done. It's also possible to test application without even having a code. I'm not sure if application exists if there is no code. I mean, somehow it should be developed, you know, and when they develop, they pretty much use the code. I mean, at least that is what you're going to do when you start working. Okay, I believe that's why exists SDET. My suggestion to you is do not come here to the class with any beliefs. Okay, so we build your knowledge base here in that class. We build it here. Whatever you bring with you might be a problem, and especially when you share it with other people. And really, don't do it. I mean, we will come to all the definitions, the terms, the meanings, and whatever. And really, you cannot impress me with that stuff. Really. So keep going. Oh no, I'm sorry. So Blackbox, Whitebox, software development lifecycle. We have that in our answers and questions. That is the very last one. It says, what is a software development lifecycle? And the answer which we really want you to use is that software development lifecycle is a conceptual model used in project management. Project management. It is not what developers use. That is what management is using. That the conceptual model that describes the stages involved in an information system development project. See what happens. To management, it is easier to manage stage by stage by stage by stage. And when we used to be in waterfall, primarily waterfall development model, so it was exactly stage by stage by stage, yeah? Like waterfall, one stage and another stage and another stage. Now we are primarily, you're going to be primarily working in agile model, which is also, it doesn't have stages like 6 months of different stages. It has maybe 2 weeks sprint, but inside that sprint also certain things are happening. Also, there is some management kind of vision of that stuff. So software development lifecycle is the vision of management. And I gave you 2 links here to read more about software development lifecycle. And there is one thing here which I keep on our website, and that thing is, yeah, the stages. At some point, I copied that from Wikipedia, because Wikipedia, they change stuff. So, and I liked it so much, I said, okay, let me keep it, so in case they change it. So software elements analysis. So analysis, then requirements. So business analysis, then requirements. And here, it says incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements. That is where requirements are going to happen. Incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirements are recognized by skilled and experienced software engineers, blah, blah, blah. So when we talk about problems in requirements, guys, those 3 words are must, okay? You have to memorize that. Let me copy it just in case, because I don't remember what's in your file. Software development lifecycle. Describe for the. Okay, just as a reminder, kind of. Incomplete, ambiguous, or contradictory requirement. That is what we are looking for at. When it comes to requirements. So traditionally, file save. Traditionally, there used to be a couple of stages I have a couple of stages. You know what? Let me go to SDLC, or let me say waterfall. Waterfall SDLC. We go to images, and you will see nice pictures with different stages of software development lifecycle. They are different, guys. You talk to one group of people, you talk to another group of people, talk to one company, another company, and so on. They are different. That is why you shouldn't really explain software development lifecycle, waterfall model in this case, by using stages, because stages change. It depends on specific situation. Waterfall. Okay, let's try this one. What the hell is that? Waterfall. Okay. Requirements analysis, design. Design is done by someone called architect, product architect, or software architect. So the structure of future software, which modules are they? Modules are called units. So in the design, the project architect will describe different units, what they do, and how they communicate with each other. And then we might go to implementation. Implementation could be called coding or programming or development. There might be different word for that. So analysis. Very often it's analysis first, then requirements, then design, then implementation, which is coding, then testing. And not to mention that substantial part of testing happens in parallel with implementation. Deployment is it's not everywhere. I mean, if you do something for, let's say, Wells Fargo Bank, then you have to deploy your software. You have to install, you have to train users, and so deployment is not a very common stage. Maintenance is. So that is why when we look at your the way we teach you, guys, let's do it this way. When we teach you, what are we saying? Stages. So we do not. Okay. Analysis, requirements, architecture, same as design, implementation or coding. Documentation is maybe a little bit kind of old-fashioned stuff. Training and support. Training and support is pretty much same as deployment. And then maintenance. So we will talk about stages, but my point here is when they ask you what is a software development life cycle, so we are saying conceptual model used in project management which describes software development process in stages. Good. There is one more thing here. Do not name the stages, or say, for example, and then come with the stage. So if you say it's a software conceptual model used in project management which describes software development process in stages, if you look at waterfall, so we are looking at analysis, and then I could write it here. For example, okay, analysis, requirements, architecture. Well, let's say architecture. Okay, architecture, coding. Okay, let's say testing. Not necessarily that way. Yeah, testing and then maintenance. For example, guys. For example is the key. if instead of saying conceptual model used in project management, if you say, oh, software development life cycle is analysis, requirement, architecture, that is bad, man. That is bad. Okay. Keep going. Oh, actually, wait a second. We have it here, yeah? Design, develop, testing. Okay, so we have it here. I didn't pay attention. Okay. What is use case? Use case. You know what? In that list, let me remove it here. I would remove the documentation. It's kind of old-fashioned stuff. The rest is fine. File, save. What is use case? So guys, use case is a cool thing. Kind of, it's a format. It's a format for defining business requirements. Use case. And I think we're going to find it in our quiz here. Bugs. Use case, yes. Format used by business analysts for specifying system requirements. Then it explains a little bit. So each use case normally represents completed business operation provided by user. For example, you open a checking account with such and such configuration. With another configuration, it's another use case. So I will at that moment, guys, I will skip the second part of it. It's a nice stuff, but I don't want it right now to be there. So use case is okay. Format used by business analysts for specifying system requirements. Use case is a communication between user and the system. Question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. So, and then finally you have the thing done. Yeah. Okay, that is use case. You remember the analysis, yeah? The software development lifecycle in Waterfall starts with analysis. What's analysis? Business analysts go to the field, they study how people work, and they create use cases in which they describe how people work. And use cases will be used for requirements later on. And we will use them for testing later on. So communication between user and the system in achieving a goal. So that is use case. What else do we have? Use case. Difference between software testing and software quality assurance. What is the difference? We might have it right here, yeah? I'm not sure if we have it. What is software? Well, yeah, what is the difference? So testing is mainly focused on the source code. Yeah. And quality assurance measures the quality of processes used to create the code. It's a good one. What is the difference between? Okay, let me bring it here. I will try to explain. So what is the difference? And then testing. So testing is about dealing with the code. But that code came to life because of multiple processes involved. Many processes. How they do this and how they do that. How they analyze results. How they report bugs. How they use different levels of expertise. Many different things. So quality assurance is about the process. And testing is about the source code built in that process. Yeah. And actually we have some here. So software quality assurance looks at and improves the process of creating a software product, and it begins from the day one. and testing just begins with the code. What is regression testing? Honestly, I don't know how it came here, because do we have it in your quiz? No? Let's see. Oh yeah, we have it. So regression testing, we have a technical definition which says partial retesting of software for previously fixed errors after changes made by the developers to... No, it's not exactly the correct way. Okay, let me see if we have it here. No. No, describe most negative. Okay, let me do it in my own words, okay? Oh, actually it is done in my own words. It says, making sure nothing was broken as a result of code being modified. They fix the code, they keep developing the code, and they still change the code. Anytime they change the code, they might break it. And if we look at the forum, I believe here, if we look at the forum and we look at the regression, it will come with elaborated answer, guys. Anytime you have elaborated answer, go for it. It helps you. Okay, partial retesting of a modified program to make sure that no new errors were introduced while making changes to the code. Making changes to the code is enough. You don't have to explain what kind of changes. In brackets here for you, I'm telling you, it's just when they develop or they fix. Okay, because we have that avoid stuff. Avoid saying no new errors after fixing the bug. No. After a new feature was added. No. It's after any modifications done to the code. Making sure the bug was fixed. It's a different type of testing. It's not regression. And it is not about manual or automated or black box or white box. So you cannot say regression is a black box and whatever. You cannot say it is a manual and whatever. It could be manual or automated. It could be black box or white box and so on. So those are typical mistakes to avoid them. But what is the elaboration? It should be done for each new release. So they compile something, yeah? And first it goes through another test, which is called build acceptance. So they have to decide that compilation happened nicely, because it doesn't always happen nicely. So if compilation happened nicely, and that is called build acceptance test, it goes to QA. And the first thing QA does is regression testing. Each and every new build which comes to QA goes to regression. We do not have enough time to retest software completely. So we have to analyze which parts are more at risk, that kind. It is the second to release acceptance most frequently executed test, which is obvious. I mean, if we did 100 builds, so we did 100 build acceptance tests, and some of them failed, maybe 15 failed. So we have 100 build acceptance tests and corresponding 85 regression tests. So that is the difference. So that is why regression is second most frequently executed test, which makes him a very good candidate for automation. So the most frequently you execute the test, the more it makes sense to automate the execution. So guys, I think we are pretty much done with the subject matter. Let me see if you have questions. Back to previous, does white box testing mean that tester does the part of developer's job trying to find the bug in the code instead of developer? If company has white box testers, it means they want to give developers more time to develop. So developer can focus on development, and then someone is focusing on testing. So it kind of changes the focus of different people in the team. What about phase out? Phase out of what? So what is the question? Just I want to understand clearly what you are asking about. So far, it's not the case. Partial retesting to make sure that nothing is broken as a result of changing the code. You can say that, but the word partial is not, it doesn't belong to the definition. Regression doesn't have to be partial, but regression is partial as a matter of fact, because we just do not have enough time to test everything. If we have enough time, we would test everything, but we just don't. So the word partial here doesn't explain the meaning of regression, but it explains the actual use of that. How many times does a company go through regression testing? I answered already. Each and every time you have a build which passed the build acceptance test. How about smoke and sanity? Should they come before regression? Smoke and sanity are just different words for build acceptance. Pretty much same thing. I mean, just different word. And I said it should be first build acceptance and then regression. In some companies they call it smoke, in some companies they call it sanity check, but the kind of not in the slang, because smoke and sanity are slang. Regression is a technical term which you find in books and every time they do modification of code. No, they might make 300 modifications of the code and then create a new build. So one build might integrate multiple modifications of the code. So it doesn't have to be for each and every modification. Is code review a wide testing? Normally, code review is something developers do. It's not about testing at all. It's about style. It's about kind of certain things which are important in development, but it has nothing to do with testing. Is it correct to say that software testing is a part of software quality assurance? I mentioned that. I said some people say it is correct and some people disagree. There is a discussion. What is the next step after regression testing? So far, guys, you have lots of things to study, okay? Focus on them. Can I pass ISTQB after classes? The good news is you don't have to. That is a pure garbage. I mean, pure unusable garbage. So you don't need that at all. We do not prepare you to passing garbage tests created just for charging money, to naive people who think that, that stuff has any value. It has zero value. Certifications come from companies which are responsible for something. You might get Oracle certification. You might get Microsoft certification. You might get Cisco certification. ISTQB is nothing. It's just in the air. It's nothing. You can create your own certification. I can create my own certification. It is not going to be cheaper, than this garbage. I mean, it's total garbage. What is SDLC under Agile? You are kidding me. We have 100 hours ahead of us. Who determines what part of software needs to be tested after system update? What the hell is system update? Tell me. What do you mean under system update? Don't clear understand what does use case mean. Okay, give please more explanation, examples. It's a format in which we describe, not us, business analysts use it. You're not going to write use cases. It is not what you're gonna do. So they describe certain communication let's say you come to Wells Fargo Bank and you have a bank teller and you say, I want to open an account. And then, so there is a use case. There is this guy who wants to open such and such account. You can put that much money down. Okay, you want checking and saving at the same time. You are a student and you have some specific thing. You agree to keep no less than that much money on your checking account, and so on. And there is a description of what that client wants, and then communication between a bank teller, who is a user, and the application which bank teller is using for creating accounts. I'm not going to give you an example. What approximate required period to be hired on first QA job since the start of course? We do not measure your job market success from the day you start the course. We might say, okay, after you finish the course, but it's also the wrong date. So the correct date is after you enter the job market. From the day you actually enter the job market, and under the assumption that you really do the nice job search, which means you follow our rules of the game, okay, not listen to whoever you might be listening outside of us. So then it might be anywhere, I would say 85–90% of you will get a job within 1 to 3 months. It might take longer. Depends on many different things. I would say when we talk to on-campus students here, we used to say you get a job in between 3 to 5 interviews. You're gonna get a job. I mean, if you have 10 interviews and no job, it's ridiculous. When I look at people in online class, they might have. I just had a conversation a few days ago. The guy has 15 interviews, 15, and still no job. And so you have to study, and you have to follow, and you have to do it with me. You do not go to the job market on your own. You go to the job market with me. So then it takes much. I mean, it will be much sooner. And again, there are rules, but nobody follows the rules. I'm telling you, you go to an interview, you come back home, you write each and every question, you write each and every answer you gave, and send it to me. If you follow that, you don't need 15 interviews. You will get a job after 3–4 interviews. You understand what I'm talking about? But it is you. See what I mean? If you want to get a job, if you commit to doing the right things, see what so guys, it is relatively easy, but the difficult part is not the job market. The job market is brilliant. We have the best job market ever. In terms of demand and supply, we never had such a job market. I started that school 27 years ago. We are the first software testing school in the world. And we never had a job market like we have today. The easiest time ever to enter the job market. But you know what? You still have to study. You still have to follow the rules of the game. Yeah? And you have to do it with us. And hard work, you know, all the stuff you know about, it belongs there. Is it possible to be hired remotely, not in USA, I mean from outside? I know that people find jobs remotely, and we understand that in today's world it is a trend. So companies have that trend to hire more and more people remotely, not just in US but outside of US. But I would say your chances to get a job in US from outside of US are growing with experience. So if all you have is just that class, it's one story. If you worked for a year in wherever, I mean, maybe in your country, maybe remotely, maybe in the office, maybe in Europe, I don't know. Wherever you work for a year, so your chances are 10 times higher now. So it is something which is not I've been doing, you know, on everyday basis. It does happen. I know that it does happen to our students, but it is not my expertise, where my expertise is. So I am primarily dealing with people who do have employment authorization and are working on the US market. We have quite a few people who are overseas and they are looking for local jobs. We had people here very successful from New Zealand and Australia and United Kingdom and Germany and Switzerland, Finland, Romania, Italy, Vietnam, Israel, Pakistan, Canada, lots of Canadians. So we Chile, Argentina, you know, they do get jobs over there. But the point here is getting a job overseas is not an easy part as a first job. Okay, as a first job. Who determines what needs to be tested after code was changed, which requires regression? Look, you work in a company, you work in a team. And honestly, you don't care who decides that, because they will tell you. They will tell you. You have processes, you join the team, and the team works in a certain way. So what you do, you come to the team, you learn how that team operates, and operate with the team. That's it. Your question doesn't have any answer because each team is different. Well, will this webinar be watched in the recording, and there will he be? Will there be detailed example as for fools, a primitive principle of the testers work? You will do projects in this class, guys. You will do 2 projects. And mobile testing project and web testing project. And so it is going to be very much hands-on, very much hands-on. In terms of recordings, you go to the online homepage, okay? And that recording of the session one recording will be right here, You see the previous class recording, so next to it, they're going to be your class recording. Interesting how many people we have in the class, 262, okay. Okay, guys, so it's 8 p.m. I have to run, and I have to produce your webinar, recorded webinar, and post it there. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. By the way, guys, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to introduce what we do, that school, the profession, and kind of it's my entire life. I mean, really, I started that 27 years ago, and for 27 years of my life, you know, I've been doing that school. So on campus and online. We started online class in 2011. So I have 27 years of experience in teaching that stuff. So, and we have many thousands of graduates. So it might work for you, it might not work for you. I mean, I don't know. Last time, previous class, we had 270 people in the chat. Let me go to your chat here. Yeah, so it was 270 people in the chat, and we had almost 200 enrolled, a little bit less, a few, close to 200. And so now we have 60 more people, and I don't know. So people come and go, and they might do it later on. So lots of people who are coming to your class were people who watched first 3 sessions with previous classes. The only difference here is, so next time it will cost you $500 more. So that is the last time we do it for $1,000. Okay. When is the next class? Do we have classes on Monday, Wednesday, Friday? You guys will have a schedule, detailed schedule. Let me show you. It's a good one. Let me show you how it looks like. So we go to the previous class, which just ended. Look at that. It has schedule. Yeah. When I go to that schedule, it goes day by day, you know, and it covers what is pretty much, you know, in that class, in that session. So you will have same thing. Now we have most of the class is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and it might be 1 hour Look at that one. Yeah, it might be 1 hour, it might be 2 hours. At some point, it becomes like 2 hours, 2. Yeah, and then we have automation, and test automation here. Test automation comes on Wednesdays. We just do not have time, to extend our class. So, and number one, number two, many people do not go to automation. They are focusing on manual, so they just don't care about the introduction to automation. Or they might go to a couple of sessions to get an idea, and they again go back to manual. So we moved automation to Wednesdays. And automation is not 6 to 7 or 6 to 8 local time. It is 7 to 9 local time. You will learn. I mean, you will know. I'm just telling you. You will get used to our schedule. We've been using it for many years. It is a kind of time-proven one. So. It's a compromise. I mean, each and every solution is normally a compromise, but that is a nice compromise, I would say. I mean, people in Moscow, Russia might complain, or in Ukraine, we have quite a few here, might complain that we start at 4 a.m. local time. Yes, because we target the US audience. So that is why. So guys, again, thank you very much for joining us today. And I hope to see you tomorrow. Do the homework, guys. Do the homework. Thank you very much.